Can you hear me? I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
You. Beyond this, sir.
All right.
Igbo, that are you journalists must be critical of the entire process. You must make your own recommendations to Ohanese and the Igbo people, and particularly the electoral committee. Make input on how the election will be managed to produce credible results. The Igbo Lawyers Forum should be interested. The Igbo students should be interested. Everybody should be interested. The election is very, very key. Very, very key. Whoever emerges as President General, or those that will produce by that process, will run the affairs of Igbo for the next 4 years. They will run the affairs. They will manage the affairs of Igbo for the next 4 years. And you will agree with me that 4 years is a long time in the life of a people or a nation. It's not 4 days, it's not 4 months. It's 4 years. We're interested. Therefore, we must ensure that a puppet leader is not produced and imposed on Ohanese. And who has shown interest in the past, who defended the Igbo cause, who has stood by the Igbo in times of difficulties. I'm not saying I'm the best. I have been vocal that the Kwere people are Igbos. I have stood up against anybody in Rivers State who had written that the Kwere land is not Igbo land, the Kwere people are not Igbo people. I've stood up against the person. I was in Washington, D.C. with Okwukwu and was Rick and Prince Ojako and others to open the Biafra House and the Voice for Biafra International in 2001, 23 years ago. In 2004, I was in Switzerland, Geneva, 50th Human Rights Commission to present the case of Biafra to the UN. I attended the International Conference on Biafra in Düsseldorf in Germany. I did a tour of the entire Europe, Western Europe, defending the cause of our people. Attended the World Igbo Congress in the US 2 times a week. I was first director of legal services of the Movement for Naturalization of Sovereign State of Biafra. In 2005, I was arrested for treason and tried to court and detained from one prison to the other, from underground in DSS headquarters to Suleja prison in Niger to Kefi prison in Nasarawa State. I was National Legal Advisor, Eastern Nigerian Student Association, 1995. I was and I remain the country representative of ENDOA, the Eastern and Niger Delta Unity Association based in the UK. I have paid my dues. And I say, anybody who wants to run this election should tell Igbo what he has done. I don't need any introduction. I've written, I've spoken. I was and I remain a member of the Conference of Igbo Scholars. Every Sunday we are meeting in Owerri. Chudo Swagu can attest to it. Professor Chinezu Nwadoba, the immediate past Vice Chancellor of LS Ekweme University, Abakaleke, will attest to it. It was at the Conference of Igbo Scholars that I learned a lot about the history of our people. I'm a member of the Igbo Lawyers Forum Port Harcourt branch. I have delivered 2 lectures at the instance of the Igbo Journalists Forum in Port Harcourt. You can confirm from the president of the Igbo Journalists Forum. So I don't understand where some people, well, I have said, nobody is perfect, but a leader must have courage to stand up for his people at difficult times. If you're not ready to stand up for your people at difficult times, then you are in trouble. When I was running for Secretary General, a funny thing happened. I never knew that one of the people I brought out from prison, Arinze, from Anambra, he was in prison for 8 months at Onitsha prisons. And then the CJ decided to move to Onitsha prison to hear, because the Onitsha prison was overcrowded. The crowd, scabies, all kinds of sickness, chicken pox, smallpox, all kinds of cough, people were dying. So the chief judge came to Anambra, Onitsha prisons. And I appeared to do all the cases for all my sub members. Arinze had been in prison for 8 months. He later became chairman of Obaru local government area. I argued his case and he was admitted into bail. When I was running the election, he was a government officer in Anambra. He never told me he was the one. He played a role to help me. Later he told me, do I know him? I said no. He said, you brought me out from prison in 2001. I said, I've forgotten. I don't know those I brought out from prison, both in Lagos, all over, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Aba, Onitsha, Owerri. I was moving from place to place doing those cases. Pro bono. Nobody paid me for anything. Owazurike is alive. I'm going to meet with him in Owerri. He's waiting for me. So Onyo Olana, the President General, should tell him on the Igbo. When Owazurike was driven out of Imo State and his house was burnt at Okigwe, I, Uche Okwukwu, kept him in Port Harcourt for 36 months. From here, we moved to open the Biafran house in Washington. And I was not afraid. I stood my grounds because I understand the issues at stake. No Igbo man should have a voice. What crime has he committed that those who Chundi Igbo from the north did not commit, or those who also the Igbo to election and Lagos did not commit? Haneze President General must go to an Igbo man with the required knowledge and the required courage. Even corrupt leaders with courage are better than righteous leaders without courage. I'll give an example. For those who don't know, and it's important to educate ourselves, Pontius Pilate, after Jesus Christ was crucified, was recalled to Rome and put on trial at the instance of Caesar and found guilty, and was stripped of his rank as a general in the Roman army. What was the finding of the tribunal then in Rome? The tribunal came to the irreversible conclusion that Pontius Pilate was not a courageous leader. This is a man who said he found nothing wrong with Jesus' teaching, the teachings of Jesus, that the man was innocent. Yet he released the man to the mob to be killed. He had the army, the Roman army, guiding him in a foreign land, in the colony of Rome. And the colony of Rome, Palestine, being a Roman colony, was a Roman territory under the law. He released an innocent man to be killed. The court said, no, you are wrong, absolutely. You owed Jesus a duty as a Roman citizen to protect him and ensure he was not killed. They stripped him of his rank as a general. And that was what led to the death of Pontius Pilate. It's not recorded in the Bible, but this night, Google the death of Pontius Pilate, what happened to him, how he was put on trial and disgraced for surrendering Jesus Christ to die. So a leader who is not courageous will make mistakes that can ruin a race. But that courage must be a courage that will be guided by conscience, by the dictate of conscience, reason, and logic. Above all, if I become President General, Ohaneze will be run by a trustee, a board of trustees. We're going to have the best of minds who will guide the leadership of Ohaneze to arrive at conclusions, both from within and outside the country. Apart from taking decisions as a neck, a very serious decision must be subject to serious trustees. We will allow it to be debated. We allow it to subject it quietly, and our people will say, this is what is right, this is what is not right. I will visit Nnamdi Kanu in prisons before the election. I will go to Abuja and meet with him. My position where I must see him is a leader in his own right. I will discuss with him. He may not be right in all his actions or omissions. What is important is to engage him and say, there must be a political solution to this problem. And the political solution will take this procedure. Our whole struggle is for the emancipation of Ndi Igbo and their neighbors in the eastern Nigeria. How do we go about it? There must be time frame, benchmarks for our people who don't take time to do studies. Mandela was not the founder of the ANC. When the ANC was founded, Mandela was virtually a child. The ANC was founded by leaders in East and Southern Africa, Malawi, Botswana, all of them came together. South Africa, Rhodesia, which is, all of them came to it when he became very great with the spirit of the nation. What is important is you are pursuing an agenda. You must not achieve it now, times after your lifetime. ANC was established in 1912. The blacks in South Africa, majority rule came in South Africa in 1990, about 100 years after the formation of the ANC. So we must agree that this is what we dream of. But to achieve it, it must be a long process. But we must be consistent in working towards it. That is what statesmen do.
You have done justice to it. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? I can no longer hear you, sir. Can you hear me? Hello? Well, Honorable, the guest, special guest today, Uche Okwukwu, Barrister Uche Okwukwu, has spoken at length. We had very wonderful time with him, and this program was fragmented because of network issues, whether they are jamming. Anytime we are doing important program, I've noticed it has become consistent. Now, anytime we're having this kind of power-loaded information delivering on this platform, they will come with jamming our network. How they do it, I don't know. But the bottom line is that we must continue pushing. This message must go out, and this will continue. This program, in fact, I have decided I was discussing with my crew as we are doing this program that this program must continue, if it is possible, on a daily basis, because this is very important to us. Hello, Barrister Chief. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't see you. I can't hear you. But hello? Well, what we're talking about is that this program will continue subsequently as we continue on this series of information and awareness creation, because this is very crucial to the survival of Ndi Igbo. And for want of time, because we have already elapsed a lot of time here, we will convey back again, and we are going to inform you when it's going to happen next on this program live on GGM. most likely next week Friday. In fact, I want to be taking this program every Friday until we get it right. It's very important. So please stay tuned, stay connected at all time. Remain consistently sharing the message from this platform, because that is where our salvation will come. That is where the freedom of the people will be achieved. I am Uche Peters, and on this I am signing out on today's program, hoping to have you back again next week as we continue in our campaign and crusade, preaching good governance and the liberation of the people from bad governance. I'm Uche Peters. I will always wish you well throughout the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, and above all, stay safe. Bye-bye for now.
We're at a crossroads, but we must be tactful. What brought us to where we are today, brought us very down, was the coup of '66. Sir, it's like man, you query them by Shadia, because I were on record. Ndona Igbo na Rivers State constitute through 72% of the voting strength of Rivers State. But even if you have number, you don't have unity, that number will be useless. The Fulani in Ekwo Nigeria is a minority. In Nigeria, they're a minority. So how come that the minorities are ruling the majority? Our number, our strategy, our number the media. You need number, but you need clear strategy. And that strategy is what ADF and Ohanese and other bodies need to work out. When you deprive you political power, you pay dearly for it.
GGM, uniting the people for good governance. GGM.